Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another video. So today, we about to try a little something, right? Now I remember back then there was a little, I don't want to say trend, but there were some, where people would follow the Bob Ross videos, the episodes, they would follow the tutorials, but they would do it blindly, so they would only be listening. Right? Now, I thought a little spin on it. I was like, hey yo, let's try that, but I'm gonna do it digitally. No canvas, no brush. I'm gonna do it digitally. It's gonna be harder, obviously. I have the video on another tab. I was gonna record like with a face cam, but I decided not to because that's more editing, and I don't want to do that. So you're gonna have to take my word for it that I couldn't see the video. If you don't, I don't care. But anyways, just hop into the, hop into it. Welcome. So my peak Megamind brain messed up the first 2 minutes of the screen recording. So I'm just going to show you some of the stuff that Bob Ross did in the first two, and then we're going to get back to actual time.
And we'll take this old brush and just making little X's, little crisscross strokes. We'll just very quickly drop in and still using our little crisscross strokes, X's. That's all they are, little X's. We'll just apply a little bit of the phthalo blue in this style. Still water is always level. And I think today we'll have still water. So pull from the outside in. Outside in.
Alright, so we're back in present time, and you might be asking yourself, how did I get that from what he was doing? I don't know, man. I couldn't see.
And we'll blend it all together. Something about like so. That's all there is to it. Okay, and down here we'll just do the same thing.
Notice how he said down here we'll do the same thing, and I just continued to stay up? That's not funny.
Brush will do marvelous things. Watch here, watch here, watch here. It's fun. Just take the corner of the brush and just pull down. Something about like so. Straight down, straight down. I'll make it look like little distant trees, live far back in the distance. A little more color, and we'll...
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You didn't get your guy.
Mist. You could even take another 2-inch brush, and I have several, and tap it. Really get in there and tap it, and then lift upward. It'll help create that illusion of mist right down at the bottom. Okay, let's have some more fun. Let's see, let's take some black, some Prussian blue, and a little phthalo blue. It doesn't matter, we just throw it on there. Crimson too, what the heck. Be brave. Be brave. I'll put a little sap green in there too. It's getting close.
If you would just watch, because I find this hilarious, you can see I literally have no idea what I'm doing. Look, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. I'm doing nothing, I swear.
Fan brush. We'll use a fan brush. Load it full of color, both sides. Oh, there lives, it does now, some little trees back in here. Now these are a little closer. You're seeing a little more detail, a little more distinct. There, and we just drop them in. We don't know where they go. Wherever you want them. That's exactly where they should live. Don't put too much detail in here. It's too far away. You're not going to see a lot of detail. You see detail when it's very close to you. When things are far away, you make out form, shape, basic color. That's all. Save your detail to the foreground.
I'm convinced I might have been using the wrong tool.
Depth in your painting. It's very, very important. Very important. Okay. I'm going to tap a little of that. That'll help create that illusion of mist down there too. There, lift slightly upward, lightly. Don't worry about it. You don't always have to have a perfect vision.
Now, right here, I wish I could tell you what I was trying to do or thinking, but I don't know. I don't even know what this was supposed to be.
Better it becomes. Take some black Prussian blue. I'm going to put some phthalo green in there. I like phthalo green. Maybe a little crimson. There we go. All right, let me wipe off the knife. I just wiped the knife on a little paper towel. I would just use that brush, little fan brush. Load some color into it, both sides of the brush. both sides. Let's go up in here. Let's have a little evergreen tree. He lives right there. See? Just make a line, take the corner of the brush, make a touch. Make another one.
And there were points like this too where I genuinely just zoned out. Like he's over here making trees and I was not listening at all, making weird mountain waterfall thingies.
Just sort of back and forth. I had a lady in class one time told me it was like making Z's, the letter Z. She called them Z trees. So I guess that's as good of the thickest, darkest.
You wouldn't believe it, but I actually snapped back into reality and I hopped into the tree making portion.
We'll have one more in there. There we go. I have a little family of trees. You know, if you've painted with me before, I think everybody should have a friend, even a tree. Even a tree needs a friend. Now, if you want to reflect those, just pop in some general indications of where they are. No big deal, see? Because we don't make mistakes here. We have happy accidents. Very quickly, you learn to work with anything that happens. Take the big brush, pull down, straight down once again, and then go across. And we have instant. And we can take that green, and let's go back and put some highlights on our little evergreen trees. There they go. All right, this little tree here. He's saying, don't leave me out. I need some too. There we are. There we are. Here we are. All right. Now, I'll put a little liquid white right on that same brush because I want to lighten the color and make it a little thinner. A thin paint will stick to a thick paint. We mix them back up again. Let's go back up here. And we can just take this brush and let's just pop in the indication of some little bushes that live down here, right down in these little foots. Something about like that. How's that? That looks like a little island. Let's put some dirt there. Let's take some white, a little dark sienna, mix them together, cut off a little roll of paint. Let's go up in here. And we'll take this and we'll just put the indication here of a little bit of soil, some dirt, some kind. Got to have a place if this is a little island for all this to sit on. All right. See there?
Once again, like the time before, I honestly can't even tell you if I knew what he was doing. I was just like, hey, a tree.
Here, how far it goes, how tall is it, how short is it, fat, skinny, in between. It's your world. So later on, our light color will show. We'll just grab grab another one. There's a fan brush right there. Take a little white, a little bit of the dark sienna. Just want to make the indication here, maybe a little tree trunk, maybe a little more dark sienna. That's nice. And tell you what, let's get crazy. You know me. If you've painted with me before, I like big trees, and we have one living in our world right there. There he comes. I like the old fan brush. It gives you a little more detail.
I want to point this out because I find this low-key hilarious. I start making the second tree when he's already practically done with the one he was just making, bro. Oh my god.
Just drop it in. All we're doing, once again, is putting in the background color. You could put this in with a paint roller. It doesn't matter, as long as the shape was right. We'll come back and separate all of this with some nice highlights. Here's a little brown and white. We'll put the indication just here and there. Side. We can go back to our little fan brush. Go right through the cad yellow, yellow ochre. Load some color into it. Let's go back up in here and let's put a highlight or two on here. Evergreens are normally darker than other trees, so don't kill all the dark area in your evergreen.
Bruh, these trees are not dark at all. They're not dark at all.
There. And the base of the tree should be darker than the top. There's big shadow areas underneath. In those shadow areas is where all my little friends live. In previous shows, we've had, like Peapod the Pocket Squirrel, my little squirrel who lives with me. We've had him on the show. But this is the kind of places that he likes. Let's take a little bit of color. Let's use the 1-inch brush. We'll go through get some sap green and some yellow. Load a lot of color into the brush. More sap green. That's nice. All right, then we can go up here and we can begin picking out individual bushes, one at a time, one at a time. There's a happy little bush. He lives right there. You knew he was there, didn't you? And he's got a little friend named Clyde. Lives right over here. There he is. So you could give all these things names, personalities. Shoot, it's okay. And let's have us a little path. We had to walk all through these bushes. Mosquitoes would get us, so let's have us a little path that we can walk back in here and catch that big old trout or bass, whatever it is that lives in here. There, take a little bit of, let's find some white, little dark sienna, mix it together, make a little highlight.
I also want to bring up too the fact that I can't see anything means that I really don't know where anything is supposed to go. So most of the stuff I was just guessing, hence why there's so much water with mine, and his does not look like that.
Now then, let's put something on this side. You have something on the other side of the path. Now let's go on this side. Once again, I'm going to take a 1-inch brush. Notice that it's straight down and I'm pulling it in one direction. It's most important. That loads a lot of paint, and see it rounds one edge. You want to turn it, put that rounded edge to the top. It's most important. And then we take that and we go right up in here. No pressure hardly, just enough to get the brush to touch the canvas. As it starts working, you get greedy. Do one at a time. One at a time. And put a little bright red on there.
And it was around this point where I started guessing I probably should have filled up the area with more land and less water. So hence why I started throwing in these random bushes here. I mean, he said he was doing bushes, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some bushes.
Begin adding in just little things that come out here on the path. Lives right there, little old tree. Maybe this little tree died and he's naked now, just a skeleton hanging out here. And that happens in nature. There, so we can put little arms on him that are still hanging out. And let's come down here, we'll make a few more in here, wherever. You decide where they live. Sometimes these old evergreens here have old dead limbs hanging off of them. Let's take a little bit of the paint thinner, a little bright red, and we'll sign this little rascal. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's a very simple painting that you can do. And if you try it, I'd love to see some photographs of what you're doing. So if you have time, take a photograph, send to us. Let us hear from you. Until then, from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting, and God bless, my friend.